So we got a lot of new teams and new conferences this year. And a lot of you have been asking, like, is there any team out there joining a conference that you would legitimately pick to win that conference this year? And yeah, the answer may be yes. So starting the SEC, we called Oklahoma the other day one of the most overlooked teams in college football. I mean that because a lot of people are talking about them as teetering on the fringe of like bowl eligibility this year, and they have a very difficult schedule. Everybody in that conference does. But Oklahoma's a team that is a classic, probably byproduct of preview magazine culture, and that is that thing where all you know is who left. All you know is who they lost. Oklahoma lost X number of combined starts, X number of starters on the offensive line. Okay, well, who do they replace him with? Oklahoma fans probably know. And I'm not telling you they replaced him with studs, but if you can't answer the follow-up question, you don't have a well-rounded opinion of the team. And with Oklahoma, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, they've recruited and portaled at a top 10 level. Every cycle Venables has been there. Could it just be they've got some talent that the country doesn't know about yet on that team beyond offensive line that we find out about this year? Not pitching them to you to win the conference per se. Texas could be a different story. Texas has got a lot of portal additions that have to pan out. If they hit it out of the park with their portal additions, they'll be right there in contention. So it'd surprise me if Oklahoma won the conference. It would not surprise me if Texas did, and I don't think that's a bold take at all. Oregon is the second odds-on favorite to win the Big Ten, courtesy of FanDuel right now. So if you're shocked by them potentially going to Indianapolis, 17 time zones away to play in their conference title game and winning it, you're probably not paying attention to roster development, talent acquisition, the odds market. Washington, that's not happening. UCLA, that's not happening. USC, I mean, I'm still a believer in giving Lincoln Riley time with a new philosophy, but if you're shifting philosophy and trying to get tougher as you enter the Big Ten, it's not a recipe necessarily that's conducive to me to you winning a conference title. But if I'm wrong, we've talked about how relatively workable their schedule is, then we'll see. In the Big 12, it's anybody's conference. I'm in Ames, Iowa today. They could win the conference this year. We were at Kansas State yesterday. They could win the conference this year. Arizona, even having lost Jed Fish, they kept a number of big-time pieces on the roster. They could win the conference this year, and they're new. Iowa State's not new. Kansas State's not new, but both the Arizonas are new. Utah is the odds-on favorite to win the conference per FanDuel, and they just got here 5 minutes ago. Colorado's here as well. They're down the odds board a little bit, but, I mean, you've got a couple of teams there in Utah and Arizona that not only would it not be shocking, I'd be surprised if they weren't figuring into the conference title race. And then in the ACC, it's got to be SMU if it's going to be anyone, because you're not about to sell me on Cal or Stanford just yet. SMU, though, a little different now. I know that you haven't seen a team make the G5 to power whatever number it is now jump and be successful right off the bat. They've got a little different caliber player on their roster, so it's not a guarantee of anything. Like Meemaw always said, ingredients in the kitchen do not guarantee a good meal. Lack of ingredients guarantees a terrible meal or starvation. So they do have some ingredients in there. It is the ACC. There's no guarantee of what FSU and Clemson are going to be. Like there's no surefire like Georgia caliber team over there where you can set your watch by them. So the ACC, that'd be interesting though, because if SMU came into the SEC, essentially paying their own way, by the way, or ACC, and they ended up winning the conference or even going to the conference title game, that would be cause for celebration.